herb and plant lovers. We're back again with another episode of Secrets of Herbal Healing. And this is where we simplify things that might otherwise be complex into things that you can use in your everyday lives. And today what we're going to talk about is foods and herbs that you can use to detox your liver. And in the last few weeks, I've talked about, liver toxins, liver function, how important the liver is, liver diseases. And all of this has been rather upsetting, I think, when you look at the statistics. And so today is the good news. We're going to talk about how you can heal your liver. And it is incredible the amount of foods and herbs that are proven to actually help to heal your liver and your liver function. So looking forward to this. All right, so as usual, I'm going to share my screen and talk you through the information and show you some images. And if you want to look at the barcode at the top corner there, you'll be able to hook straight into the page yourself and follow your information down the rabbit hole if you want to find out the sources and the research behind it all. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll get into it. All right, so caring for your liver. And we've talked about how important this is, to your whole body's entire health, metabolism, digestion, the whole shooting box, the hormonal system, endocrine system. And also we've talked about in previous weeks, the prevalence of liver disease and how common it is and how undiagnosed it is. 25 to 40% of the population go undiagnosed with liver disease until it's far too late. So we need to take action. We need to do something about it. We need to look after our livers, just like you would look after any other part of your body. And in particular, think of your body like a machine, like a vehicle. This is something I really like to compare to my body to, is a car, because we know that we need to maintain our car every year, take it in, get it serviced, get oil changed, check all the bits and pieces and make sure everything's working properly. But do we do the same with our bodies? And so this is why it's so important to look after your inner workings of your body. And you couldn't be more important than your liver. So let's get started. So these are some of the simplest things you can do to look after your liver. Sleep at night, and adequate sleep at night, especially in the small hours between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. That's where your liver is really doing its most work in detoxing. And so that's why if you wake up in the morning feeling tired all the time, it's more than likely that your liver hasn't finished its job and your immune system is still working to clean the body or detox the body. A diet high in fruits and vegetables, that kind of makes sense, with anything related to digestion and cleaning the body, which your liver does. Exercise is good for liver circulation. Drink lots of water. Avoid alcohol and processed food with lots of additives and chemicals. We've talked about that previously. Avoid taking pharmaceutical drugs if at all possible. So look for natural alternatives. And so, but what we're going to really focus on today is what we can actively do with food and with herbs. So this is a really interesting category, brassica. So brassica, and particularly broccoli. Broccoli is one of the highest sources of this compound called indole-3-carbinol. And indole-3-carbinol is a substance that helps the liver in phase 2 detoxification of chemicals and breakdown and elimination of chemicals. By the way, I'm going to move fairly quickly because I sort of limit these to about 20 minutes max. And we're going to let you, if you want to look into this further, go and look at these, the research behind these different foods and herbs. So I'll just skim through and highlight what they are and the main functions that they have. So wasabi, horseradish, and mustard, they all contain a compound called sinigrin, which has been found to combat liver cancer and so protects the liver cells from damage. In particular, prevents cancer from developing in the liver. So a very, very good reason to have your wasabi when you have sushi. So mustard and horseradish and wasabi are all in the same family. So anything with that hot, pungent flavor is more than likely going to fall into that category of being good for your liver. And you will notice a bit of a theme here as we look at these foods. Raw fermented vegetables. And the theme is they're not sweet, they're not sugary, they're not processed foods. Most of these are sour or bitter, and that seems to be the property that your digestive organs really like to function with. It triggers them. It has a reflex action to the whole digestive system. And so it's no wonder that these are the foods that support your liver. So raw fermented vegetables support the gut microbiome, and we all know how important that is to the whole digestive system. So the gut microbiome has a spin-off effect of helping your liver function. So raw fermented vegetables, but also anything that helps your gut microbiome. So prebiotics, probiotics, and so on. Onions. Interesting, onions, garlic, leeks, chives, they all fall into this category in the Allium genus of foods. And again, it's that volatile compounds, those constituents that make your eyes water, that make the juices flow in your body, which is what they do. But there's been studies that have shown potent hepatoprotective, so hepato being your liver, protective effects, and particularly with helping cholesterol. So very, very good for your cholesterol. If you're wanting to control that as well, you should always function on your liver. So another reason to do a liver cleanse is if you've got high cholesterol, of course. Beetroot. This is really interesting because beetroot's got these colors in it, basically pigments, which are the active chemicals, and they call them betaine, beta-cyanins, and beta-xanthins. These are the most active compounds in beetroot. And again, it comes back to this whole thing of living food and colorful food and bright food, that they all have these healing powers. And if you mix it up, I like to use what's called it's often termed the shotgun approach, but it's also the synergy approach or the entourage effect, where you combine a lot of things together that all work in synergy and help each other. And so the more you use of these, the more benefit you'll get. So if you combine these foods in your meals during a liver cleansing program, you're going to massively impact on your liver. Turmeric, of course, again, it's the bright yellow pigment in the turmeric, the curcumin, which is the active compound. So it's known to protect the liver, especially where the liver's been damaged by pharmaceutical use. Really interesting thing about turmeric. But turmeric protects your body in so many ways. It's unbelievable. Now, here's an interesting one, grapefruit. So grapefruit are not recommended if you're using some pharmaceutical drugs, basically because they enhance the effect of the drugs. They also help the liver detoxify the drugs. So it sort of throws the properties of the drugs up and down a little bit, and that's why they don't recommend it. But on the flip side, grapefruit is hugely beneficial to your liver. So similar to lemons, they have this compound in them called naringin, which is flavonoid. So once again, the antioxidant properties of these foods, which are mostly the pigments in the foods, and it helps the enzymes in the liver to detox. So grapefruit as a snack when you're liver cleansing is perfect. Seaweed and algae, these are liver protective as well. And again, it mentions in here the pigments. So the colors, interesting, eh? It's like color therapy with food. All of these powerful healing properties come in these colors. So these pigments, peptides, phenolic compounds protect the liver, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, you name it. Powerful healing food. Berries, blueberries in particular, are known to protect the liver from oxidation, from stress, inflammation, anti-inflammatory towards the liver. So those are just some of the foods, but with our liver cleansing program, we suggest recipes where you combine all these foods into the program. And then we combine the herbs. And I've talked about this before, mega dose therapy, where you use a lot of herbs and you use a lot of foods and you use them in synergy. And it's when you combine all of these things together, your liver has no choice but to heal. And of course, especially when you're using these foods and herbs, it's really important to go back and look at the list of toxins that we talked about in previous episodes. And you'll find there's this on the page as well, up above, is look at all the toxins and how you can avoid them. So you're doing two things. You're detoxing by avoiding the toxins and avoiding all the things that contribute to liver toxicity and build up. And on the other hand, you are healing with food and herbs. So you're detoxing and you're healing. And that's why I love the term detox and heal yourself. But to heal yourself, you need to do the nutritive stuff. And the nutritive stuff comes with the food and with the herbs. It's no good just detoxing and fasting. Well, there's some good in it, but it's nowhere near as good as using the medicinal food and the medicinal herbs. So let's go into the herbs a little bit. And this is a really quite common and simple one, is chamomile. And you think of chamomile as a calming, relaxing tea, but what it does is it helps to soothe and heal inflammation of the gut. And so that's particularly good for helping the gut function better, the microbiome to function better, which has the spin-off effect of helping your liver function better. So, and it's also, a really good alternative to, conventional milk-based coffees that a lot of us are having. So while you're detoxing, it's good to go on some herbal tea. Milk thistle, you've probably heard of milk thistle. It's probably the most commonly known, widely used liver herb in the world. And interestingly enough, it's listed in Pharmacopoeia in Europe because it's well recognized that milk thistle is virtually the only substance, milk thistle extract is the only substance that's called silymarin, by the way, that can help heal a poisoned liver or protect a poisoned liver from complete liver failure. So milk thistle is so widely recognized. That's why it's so widely used. It's just a powerful herbal medicine. Globe artichoke. This is another very, very good healer for the liver. This is the common artichoke that you can grow as a food, by the way. And it's known to get the liver moving again if it's become stagnant. So it stimulates everything to start flowing again in the liver. It's a fantastic herb. Golden seal. Now, golden seal is one of the most bitter herbs you've ever tasted. If you ever get an opportunity, I highly recommend tasting golden seal, and you'll understand immediately why it's such a powerful medicine just by tasting it. It's always been one of my favorites. I remember when I first started studying herbal medicine, tasting golden seal, and I was converted. And, if you taste golden seal and you like it, you should become a herbalist. It's a sure sign. So again, it's this bitter effect. And the bitter compound, berberine, from golden seal protects the liver. So it's called golden seal because it's well known to seal the membranes, and it's gold in color. So you end up with this golden, seal on the membranes in your body, but also highly antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal. It's broad, antimicrobial, and so it protects from all the bugs that you could have, crawling around, creeping around the system, and protects the liver cells in particular. Dandelion. Now, dandelion's underestimated. It's a food. You can use it as like rocket leaves, basically. Use it in your salads. It's a fantastic herbal medicine. But the root is the part we use mostly for the liver function, and it also helps the gallbladder. So it's a bit like a milk thistle, as in the way it works, because it's in the thistle family. It's got the milky substance as well, and it works a bit like milk thistle in the way that it protects your liver. So here we've got wormwood. I love wormwood. Now, wormwood is one of the core herbs in our herbal detox program and our herbal liver detox program. It's a bitter, again. It's an antimicrobial, again. It's an antiparasitic, hence the name wormwood. It stimulates the liver and helps to kill any parasites. So it's very good at just protecting and inducing the secretions of the gastric system, the whole digestive system. So enzymes and juices and bile from the gallbladder, and that gets things moving in your liver as well. Kiwi fruit, interestingly enough, it's known to inhibit cancer in the body, and it's got a lot of enzymes, and that stimulates digestion. So kiwi fruit is very good for your entire digestive function, but it's also been shown to help protect the liver and inhibit cancer. So another very good reason to use kiwi fruit. Turkish rhubarb. So you probably remember having rhubarb as a kid. I remember having it. It's quite sour. And so interesting, that these herbs that are liver tonics have this bitter and this sour characteristic. It's what we need. And we talked about it last week, how our liver becomes built up with toxins, and one of those toxins turns into a fatty liver. And so the toxin is an over consumption of sugars and carbohydrates, and also processed fats. And the liver struggles to process the amount that we take in. And so it starts to build up and store in the liver, converts the excess glycogen into fat, and you end up with a big fatty liver that becomes blocked. And so it's the complete opposite, when you think about it, to the bitter, the sour, the whole foods that are the solution to a congested liver. So if you've had liver tests and you're thinking about doing our liver cleansing program, have a look on this page, because we do a guarantee with our programs that your tests will improve. And so I've always given that guarantee, because we've always seen the liver tests and the blood tests in general improve with anyone that does the program. And I think this is for good reason. When you see the amount of herbs we use, and also the diet plan that we suggest in combination, you really can't go wrong. So have a look for yourself, check it out, and if you really do need liver help, this is the way to go. Barley grass is fantastic. It's got an enzyme, and we use the barley grass shoots, the little shoots. And so if you're sensitive to gluten, you should be okay with barley grass as an ingredient, because the young shoots don't really contain much of the gliadin or the gluten protein. And it stimulates the liver phase 2 detox again. So there's an enzyme in there called superoxide dismutase, or SOD. Interesting name for it. It's an enzyme that helps the liver break down the substances, the foreign substances and chemicals and so on, and get them out of the liver. So specifically only available in barley grass, which I've always found fascinating. So a really key component in your liver detox is including barley grass. Spirulina, then we mentioned this before about seaweed and algae as a food, but also using spirulina powder is a good way to get it, because it can be a bit hard consuming a lot of seaweed and algae in your diet. It is doable, but this isn't a great way to do it in a powder form, because you can get a large quantity going through your body. And here's a little thing. Spirulina is known to protect the liver from lesions and preserving liver cell structure. And this is possibly due to its incredible nutritive power. So spirulina contains almost every substance known, nutritional substance known that we need in the human body. So you could virtually live on spirulina if you wanted to. So no wonder it heals the liver, because you're not getting the sugars and the fats, but you're getting every other nutrient you could possibly need. So I highly recommend introducing spirulina into your smoothies when you're doing a detox. And this is a great picture, because it just shows the different ways, and I'll see if I can zoom this up a bit, the different ways that the herbs and the foods work on protecting your liver. So they protect it from toxic damage, they're anti-inflammatory, help the immune function, knock bacteria, viruses, and fungi. And it's not really mentioned much here, but just stimulating the flow and function of your liver and getting that bile produced and that bile flowing out of your liver is a really core component. So there you go. There's a broad spectrum of actions when using these healing foods. And you'll find the detox program on this page. I won't go into that right now. I'll let you investigate that, and we might talk about it another day. So I'll just stop sharing. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this, and I hope it's been helpful. I hope you've seen something you hadn't seen before. And as always, I like to try and simplify things for you. So we do provide the programs that you can do yourself. But if you wanted to investigate further, please have a look at the page, and we'll pick up another topic next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great